And this is totally organic to the way that Harry Osborn was starting to act in Spider-Man 2 when he recruited Doc Ock. All right. He starts out in the first movie not having anything to do with his father, the Green Goblin. In the second one, he actually hires Doc Ock to capture Spider-Man. This would be totally in line with that to have Harry Osborn hire five criminals to kill Spider-Man. All right. Now, in the end, Spider-Man is able to defeat the Sinister Six because one, he's fought them twice before, and two, he's able to outsmart them. Okay? So the first time he fought them, he was caught off guard. He didn't expect to fight five supervillains all at once. Uh, the second time, he actually won, and he was using brute strength at that point. By the end, he knows all of their weaknesses. He's figured out how to beat each one of them individually. So if he can outsmart them, if he can divide and conquer, he knows exactly how to beat each one. And he does. One by one, he beats five out of the six, including Venom. And he knows Venom's weakness because he was a symbiote Spider-Man for most of the movie, or a big chunk of the movie. So, in the end, it comes down to Peter Parker versus Harry Osborn. It's Spider-Man versus the Green Goblin. And this is where I would go, Captain America Civil War with it, where it's two friends just beating the crap out of each other. And they don't kill each other. That's the thing. Spider-Man doesn't kill Harry Osborn. Harry Osborn doesn't kill Peter Parker, okay? But Peter wins, all right? Spider-Man wins. And Harry Osborn and the rest of the Sinister Six, they all go to jail, okay? They all go back to jail. And I would end it with one of my favorite endings of all time. It's an ending that I love that a lot of comic book movies use. It's a great way to kind of tie up loose ends but still end on a cliffhanger. And it goes like this. The gist of the ending is things are not okay yet, but maybe someday they will be. All right? I think all three of the Dark Knight movies end that way. Batman Begins, they stop Ra's al Ghul and the Scarecrow, but all the inmates in Arkham are roaming Gotham City. So, Jim Gordon says, well, we still haven't cleaned up all of the inmates who escaped from Arkham, and, what about this? What about that? And Batman says, don't worry about it. We can still save Gotham. And it ends with him, like, just rushing off to save Gotham from the criminals that have escaped. And The Dark Knight ends with, well, we got the Joker, we stopped Harvey Dent, now I gotta go on the run. And things are not okay yet, but they will be someday. Alright? And The Dark Knight Rises, and it's the same way. They stop Bane, they stop Talia al Ghul, and they stop the revolution. Now, Gotham's still pretty messed up, but the message is they're gonna be okay. That things are not okay yet, but they will be. That's how I would end this movie, which is you still got all the people who escaped from Riker's prison, and things are not okay yet, but they will be. So at the beginning of this, Spider-Man was feeling overconfident, and by the end, he should be more humbled. He should say, you know what, I still have a lot to learn here, and that's it. That's what I would have done. So adding more villains to it actually, in a weird way, makes things simpler and easier. Removing coincidences helps, where there's no amnesia plot line anymore. Uh, the villains aren't created accidentally. A meteor doesn't fall out of the sky right next to Spider-Man, okay? Everything has to happen as a result of the character's choices, and it's got to be consistent with what happened before. Okay, so when Peter Parker is fighting in crime, he believes in himself, and he knows that he's got this. He's got that cocky attitude that he's always had. Um, Harry Osborn hires the Sinister Six because that's the logical outgrowth of his behavior in Spider-Man 2. Peter Parker, being the whiz kid that he is, would do the research and figure out where his enemies got their powers from, all right? And in the process, he would find out that there's a symbiote suit. And that, again, like, some people have a problem with all the villains coming from Oscorp. I love that because it's believable. There's a causality to it. It's not a coincidence. So the fact that completely unrelated, a meteor falls out of the sky and also gives him his black suit powers, it's got to be organic to the plot. So it all has to come from Oscorp, and the fact that he makes a choice, that he seeks out this symbiote and is using it to gain an advantage over his superior enemies is what's important, all right? And then he gets rid of it. And Eddie Brock doesn't find it by accident. The symbiote seeks out someone who's looking for vengeance against Peter Parker and finds him and latches onto him. And once Harry Osborn finds out that there's someone out there like that and that the symbiote is on the move, he recruits it because it is part of his technology. It's owned by Oscorp. The symbiote is owned by Oscorp. So he would recruit him too. And one by one, Peter would outsmart the Sinister Six, and it would end with this climactic battle between Harry and Peter, and they're not friends anymore. They used to be friends. But this is the thing. This is Captain America Civil War. This is Revenge of the Sith. All right? This is best friends fighting each other, and it's heartbreaking. It should be heartbreaking, and it should be brutal, and it should be realistic. And in the end, they're both still alive, but Harry goes to jail. All right? And in the end, Peter Parker has not defeated all of the criminals who have escaped from Rikers. They're still out there in New York. And now he's got somewhere to be. He's got something to do, and he's more humble than he was before. He's ready to face it without being overconfident. And he's just more well adjusted than he was before. And you have plenty of time to have him interact with Mary Jane. I wouldn't have brought in Gwen Stacy at all. Um, Sandman, maybe I would have done Sandman. I don't think so. It wouldn't make much sense with the whole Oscorp plot. But you know what? If they say you have to do Sandman, all right, fine, we'll do Sandman, and we'll say that that's part of the Oscorp process. It could be technology that does it, or it could be an actual experiment. They could actually take Flint Marko and transform him into Sandman. But the point is, it's all got to be enacted on the part of Harry Osborn. So, what we would have here, very clearly and cleanly, we would have Team A versus Team B. Peter Parker versus Harry Osborn. And everybody else in the movie is on Team A or Team B. Wants to help Peter or wants to help Harry. Okay? So, Mary Jane, Aunt May, they would be on Peter's side. Scorpion, Sandman, Venom, all those people would be on Harry's side. But Harry's the one with the master plan, okay? It's not like what I was saying with Eddie Brock in the actual version of Spider-Man 3. It's not that, because Eddie Brock has nothing sinister to do for most of the movie. He's not the mastermind. He's a henchman who works for the mastermind, and in this case, the mastermind should be Harry Osborn. All right? So, that's what I would have done. Maybe nobody else agrees with that, but I at least think that most people out there believed that a story like that would be better than the one that they actually ended up doing. All right? I could be wrong. Let me know in the comics. In the comments. The comics? In the comics? Let me know in the comics? No. Let me know in the comments section below, all right? Uh, do you have any other ideas? What do you think would have worked? Okay? This is the version that I would have done if I were given the task to have written Spider-Man 3, and then it would have left the door open for Spider-Man 4, 5, 6, 7. Just open up the door for all kinds of Spider-Man movies and just keep it going forever. They got it a little messed up with this one, and then they rebooted it and rebooted it again. Hopefully they're going better. The next movie that comes out is going to be Spider-Man Homecoming. Really looking forward to that. But yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Put it down in the comments below. This is Good Screenwriting, and I'm Trevor Meyer. See you next time.